Okay, pilots. I'm going to attempt to put my tail wheel in. I think I got everything on here and ready to kind of start anyway. I had to get a couple of plastic sleeves there to put on my cable, and I'm going to have to glue it to the sidewall. But first I got to get this thing here mounted in. First, I've got to get this air line back around and going through this hole here. Got two air lines here, one's purple, one's red. I've got to run them back around and come through that hole there that the retract's got to go up into. Pull it out like so. Then these are cables for the pull system for the tire, turn the wheel. Alright, I'm looking on my instructions here and it tells me which hole over here is the retract and what's it call it? What's it say on here? It's stand, retracting its stand. Alright, and they say that the red is the retract line and the purple is for that stand. So the retract's gonna be the first one. So I've got to take that red line and I've got to put one of these little couplets here on it. It's just a little aluminum cap, looks like, with a hole all the way through it with threads on one end. And we won't put it on there with the big end facing the retract. Put the red one in the first one here. Now, I didn't make a mistake on which one to put it on earlier. I made the mistake of not putting it through the hole right. I had to take all this back off again. And it was murder to get this thing back off. I mean, even after I took this cap off, I had to take the little razor blade and slit the hose there to get the thing back off. So I mean, it's gonna take a lot to get that off. So I got me another cap here. I'm looking for the big end is there. Alright, well, that looks like that's wrong. Look at it again. Yeah. Okay. That's right. Good enough. Wrap on it there. Alright. Now, them plastic sleeves is gonna slide on up there, but I've still got to get, I got to be able to, I got to mark the cable, which is left and right, and I've got to keep this air line going up through there and the cable going up through there, and I got to spread this a little bit just to get the retract in it. Okay, watching that cylinder go up into the hole, making sure none of them air lines is getting pinched, none of my cables is getting make sure something else here. Goodness gracious. That's going to be tough there. Let me get one of these. Over here. Now then. try to get my cable on the other side. One. I've said this before in other videos, I hadn't really messed around on this pull stuff. This is going to be a little trial here. Alright, now that the retract will go up in there pretty good. Let me get it back out here. Well, that's not going to be working right. That's not going to work. What have I got there? Yeah, that'll be all right. Okay. Just looking at things. It's got little indentions in the wood for holes, but sometimes them don't line up, you know. And sometimes they do. So what I'm going to try is while my gear is at least in the correct position there, anyway. You have to have a pretty long bit to get up there to them other ones. It's way up there at the top. Hoping I'm not drilling into one of my airlines. Okay, now this kit did come with some screws here. It's a little bit too big to be servo screws. There went one on the floor. I didn't need that. But I guess you could use them for servo screws. But I'm going to put these in here just to kind of hold it here. I'm going to show you kind of up close here in a second. I had to break out a piece that was going across this because you just simply could not get the screw in it after if that brace is on it and you got this word to where those marks was at. There's no way you're gonna get a screw in it. Okay. Alright, I'm sorry about the light pointing right at you sometimes. We got this piece of wood right here. It's from a form. It was going across here, but it had a slit cut in it across here to where you could slide that bracket in there, but the piece of wood was over the screw holes. It was no way it was going to, so I had to just take a pair of pliers. Just took a pair of pliers and got grabbed a hold of it and just kind of broke it out. So now I'm going to take a little sander here. Since I got the retract in there and make sure I didn't want to cut nothing that I needed out. should even worry about that, but yeah. All right, now what I've got to do now, some tape here, and a pen. Alright, that's going to be pulling that wheel like that and turning the plane to the left. Okay. To the left. To the left. To the left. Come on, pen, it's not time to be messing around. Let's learn how to write here. And of course, you got to look up in there and check and see if you wrapped around something. You know, you don't want to be wrapped around nothing. You want it to be nice and clear. Clear. That's the reason I was kind of worried about my men and being in there in the waist gunners. I've got to get my little sleeves down there. That's what I figured. That one's wrapped around our line. So let's take that one back out. Good thing I didn't put that man inside that waist. And now I can't find it. I can't find it. It's right there. I got my finger all over it. Can't find it. Fingers all over it. Can't find it. I can't find it nowhere. There it is. Okay. Let's move this over here. Just keeps wanting to wrap around that power line every time I stick it in there. Just done. Alright, where you at now? Let's see if you wrap around another hour line now. Wrap around something. This thing will not go through that hole for some reason. It will not go through that hole. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yep. This is why I wanted to try to find electric retracts, Chris. But they don't have them. Don't have them. And I can't keep that air line out of my way because I can't get in there to it. Can't see nothing. Can't do nothing there. It went right up through the bottom this time. Because the air line is pointed right down in your way, right down, right straight in your way. Right straight in your way. I'll be a son of a gun if there ain't that air line sticking right there in the way. No. Now, don't pull it back through. Don't pull it back through. Don't pull it back through. Okay. Oh yeah. So now that I've got all the airlines out of the way, I've got that retract. Now, this is the fun part. Well, let's see. Actually, I don't have to worry about that right now. I can do that later. Okay. That was worrying about my length. Worrying about my length. I've already got this in here. Now I seen two couplets. Actually, there's 4 like this that come with the kit, the ARF. Now, there's no way it's gonna work right here. It's too long. It's just not gonna work. So I might just see, put that on there. Yeah, that might work. It might. Let's see. It's not really going not that far, so I could probably glue it in that corner without it being that far out. Yeah, I probably could use it now. I couldn't use it the way I had it glued first time, but then I seen where it needed to be lower. So we'll do it that way then. All right. You get these little brass bushings, put in your servo to put a little rubber bushing on the outside to keep your servo from vibrating so much. So I'm gonna put that on first. Loop my hole once, and we're gonna see if it'll get in there. I don't know if it'll get in there again. I don't know. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Get out of the way, brass bushing. I got these glasses on, I still can't see. Got this lamp on, I still can't see. No, I don't think it's gonna go in there but once. Okay. Put a pretty good crease in that. Slide my brass bushing over it. Now I'm just going to take a regular pair of pliers. We'll crush that bushing. steel cable. I just kind of bent it back there where it wouldn't catch anything and tried to get it. And what I could do, maybe, I don't know, better not do that though. I'm gonna leave that like it is. Okay. Yes, I'm probably doing this all wrong. But like I said, it's my first time. Just Wing It was making a video on one of these, and I think either this cable come off of his tail wheel, or he didn't have his plane set up with differential thrust, or I mean, not differential thrust, but I can't think of it. Counter rotating props. That's what I'm trying to think of. I don't think he had counter rotating props, because that thing turned hard to the left and went right into a barrier. And I asked Just Wing It if he had or either this cable snapped, one of these cables snapped, and he had no control of it. That's the only thing I can think of, because it turned, went straight into that barrier, crashed into an F-16, tore it all to pieces. I got to snap that thing in. Let me do this real quick. Get my oven ready. And these are metal caliper connectors, whatever you want to call them, and they kind of snap together. You gotta line that little thing up and snap it back together. Now, and another thing is, it's got an adjustment the same way that you have on your regular plastic and nylon ones and steel rod, push rods. But I got mine about middle ways there, so I can have at least a amount of adjustment either way to start out. And these things are pretty tough to get on there. So I can only imagine how tough it'd be to get it off. Because you've got to sit here and push this little rod in a little bit to get that thing to snap in. There it went. You hear that? Have I got that on right? Nope. for my pin to be going downward. At least gravity will help hold it on there for a little bit anyway. Oh, man, them things is tough to get on there. Okay. I'm pushing the end that slides into the little hole on that side. Come on, ice cream. There it went. Alright, snap it in. Now I can put a little piece of tubing on that if I want to. But I've got to make sure I'll get everything cleared here. Make sure I have no air lines in between it and getting pinched. You are just dying to get pinched, ain't you? Just dying to get pinched. Dying to get tangled up into something. Just dying to. Okay. I'm gonna have my little plastic sleeves that are sticking out there, but I'm not gonna sit here and glue it, and you have to watch my glue dry. But I am gonna screw this in. I have it lined up to put my other two screws in. The little axle in the wheel, I say little, it's bigger than most of my 1200 millimeter main retract axles and struts. It looks like it's a good 5 millimeter, maybe even 4 or 5. And it's also got suspension on it too. I couldn't believe that neither. It does. But I had to cut about 1/4 inch off of it, so it missed the outside covering here. And I hope I didn't do something wrong. But okay. You know, when you don't have instructions or something, you kind of a little hesitant of doing things, certain things. I see my hose is lining up there. Yep. But I can't get a drill up there and pre-drill them. Just can't do it, I tell you, just can't do it. Okay. Alright. We're going with the force threading. Like I said, they had a little bit of a hole started there, not drilled all the way through, but it was started. And this wood's about, I'm saying it's a good 1/4 inch thick there that you screw it into. And it's got a pretty good frame all around it. I'm gonna get you in here close and let you look at it. Alright, I've got that one going a little bit. I don't want to really tighten on it yet. No, this is a long one. This is a long one. Yep, this is a long one here. I didn't think that cable would give me that much trouble, but you know how it is sometimes. Alright, let me see here. Oh, now I see what that slit's for. That slit's for the elbow up there for the gear to go up into. That didn't have nothing to do with the air line. I'm pushing that thing up against that wall as hard as I can get it. Taking a screwdriver and pushing that thing up against the facing of that wall as hard as I could. Now I'm gonna do the same here and kind of get some pressure on that screw there. Give it a good one. Give it a good one. All right, now more than likely I'll take them two bottom ones back out again. Put a little super glue in it. But that's looking good there. That's looking pretty good. We got it turning here. All right. There's two screws there, then you got the two way up on the top there, if you can see them. I'm sorry if you can't. Got the two cables coming through right here. A turn system there. And them little plastic sleeves, I've got to get them glued on there. Okay. But no, like I said, no, that's something later I'll do. We're gonna look at it. We got it in the down position. Let's see what my cables is gonna do. Yep, okay. That'll look good, that'll look good. That'll look good. Okay. And you see that right here is actually the suspension cylinder. Let's see if I can get out there. It kind of, you got to lock it thing there, and let's see if I can get it to move. There it goes. See it? If you can, let me get it up here a little bit, move the camera a little bit where you might can see that flexing in there for the suspension. All right, let me look at something else here. I'm reaching down here and grabbing my left cable. Okay. That'll be turning the plane to the left. And that one's turning it to the right. Okay. So I got my, let's see what I meant. Yeah, I think that's right. I'll have to think about that in a minute. But I'll get them cables hooked up to the servo. And I've got the air lines pulled up through the little tube. I've got to get my little plastic sleeves there glued on. But there's my tail wheel. I'm out.